belongs to class 12th, second chapter, Principles of Management. Here, today I am going to cover the 14 principles of Henry Fayol. So, the first principle of Henry Fayol is division of work. Right? So, what basically division of work talks about? See, according to this principle, what Fayol is saying that the entire work should be divided into different tasks. So, what I said that Mr. Fayol is saying here that as per this principle, the entire work should be divided into different tasks. Because see, you cannot give the entire work or entire what we can say whatever is the goal of the organization. One person cannot achieve it individually, right? So he has to work in a team, in a group. So here Mr. Fayol says that whatever is the work, you divide them into different tasks, and now you assign the work to one person according to his qualification, according to his experience. You need to identify as a manager that कौन person किस काम में efficient है, so that he will give you the best result. Now, when a person is performing one task, this is one person, he is performing one task continuously, so obviously this person will become expert in doing that task, and the efficiency level also increases. So that is the reason this particular principle help to increase the efficiency of the person. The other advantage here is this principle will also help to avoid waste of time, which is caused by change from one work to another. Suppose this year you have assigned one work to this person. Now the same work you are giving it to another person. Now this person will again take some time to understand the concepts, to understand the thing, how the job is to be performed. Instead of that, you give the same task to this person, because when you have already assigned the task to this particular fellow, you have seen his qualification, you have checked his experience. That's the reason you have given him that task. Okay, so this is a good advantage, or we can say this principle should be used in a good way so that we can achieve the goals of the organization. So I can take one more example here. Suppose this is one person, this person is skilled in computer programming, okay, and this person continue to do this job over a period of time. So because of this continuity, the computerized skill, the skill of this person, obviously it will enhance, and consequently it will improve his performance. So we cannot give this task to anyone else, because he is the one who is performing this task over a period of time. Now he is the expert. So basically division of work will help doing the task properly. Now the second principle is authority and responsibility. Right? So authority is basically the right of a superior to give order to his subordinate. Suppose this is a superior and he has a right to give order to his subordinate. So what is authority basically? Authority means the superior has a power that he can assign the work to his subordinate, and he has to perform his task efficiently and effectively. Whereas what is responsibility means? Responsibility is an obligation to carry out an assigned job on time. It's an obligation. You have to perform the task. Now, what Fayol says that there should be a proper balance between authority as well as responsibility. You cannot give more authority to someone and then less responsibility, or vice versa. It should go in hand, or we can say it should go together. If you are granting more authority to one person, you have given more authority to this person without matching with the responsibility, then what will happen? Automatically it may obviously he will be irresponsible, because obviously he is not responsible for that task. You have given him the power, but he is not responsible for it. So automatically it creates problem in an organization. Similarly, providing more of responsibility without giving the authority, or without giving the necessary authority, we can say, it will make subordinate inefficient. They will not be able to perform the task. If you are giving them more and more responsibility, but you are not giving them the authority to perform the task, obviously the subordinates will not be able to perform the task, and it may lead to inefficiency and wastage of time. For example, if a worker is given a responsibility to produce 100 unit, now we have asked them to produce 100 units. This is a responsibility that per day you have to produce 100 unit, right? Then he must be given necessary authority also to achieve this target. You are giving him the responsibility, but you are not giving them the authority to withdraw or to take the raw material. Then what will happen? Obviously they will not be able to perform the task, or we can say if he is not given the required authority to draw the tools or material, whatever is required to produce this 100 units, whatever raw material or whatever tools is required, if we are not giving the authority to this subordinate, then what will happen? He cannot be blamed for not achieving the target. This is what this is what I want to explain, that if superior is giving you some work, then your authority should match with your responsibility. Otherwise, what will happen? If the subordinates are not able to perform the task, they should not be blamed for not achieving the target. I hope you understood the first and the second principle of management. So the third principles of management is discipline. Now this is a common and a general term which we use. So in management, what discipline means? What Henry Fayol, why he has added discipline as one of the principle of management? See, so basically in management, discipline means the obedience, the respect of authority and complying with the rules and regulations of the organization. Wherever you work, you need to follow the rules and regulations of that particular organization. And this is very much essential for the smooth running of the business. If you see in your daily life also, if you're not disciplined, obviously not be able to perform the task. There might be some cures in your life or some problems will be there. Similarly, जो success होती है एक firm की, that also depends upon the discipline, right? So it's required not only on the part of the employees, but also from the managers. Suppose managers are here and employees are here, so they are not only responsible for the discipline. It should be from both the side. If employees are doing like they are performing their task, so even the management or the managers should also appreciate them and follow the rules and regulations of the organization. And secondly, the managers can set an example in front of the employees. If they are asking employees to come on time, suppose the reporting time is morning 8 o'clock, right? अगर वो खुद 8 बजे नहीं आ रहे हैं, but they are asking their employees to come at 8, then what will happen? Obviously, what employees will do? वो खुद they will see कि जो managers हैं वो खुद ही discipline नहीं है, but they are asking us or they want us to report, right? So they can set a good example in front of their subordinates and they can perform the task, right? For example, if a company has entered into an agreement with the employee, right? This is the company, and the company has entered into an agreement with the employees. Now what is the agreement? It is about their wages for 4 years. How many years? 4 years. Then the company should honor it. If they have promised their employees that they're going to give them the wages, whatever amount they have decided, so they should follow it. Similarly, the employee should also honor the commitment made by them. And in return, whatever commitments are made by the employees, because they're giving them some benefits, right? Some incentive. So obviously they want them to perform some task. So even the employees should do the same. Similarly, there is one more example, like suppose a management and a labor union, they both enter into an agreement. Management, I'm just writing roughly, this is the management and this is the labor union, right? So if they both have entered into an agreement whereby workers have agreed to take out the company from losses, they agreed that we are going to do whatever, जो भी हम कर सकते हैं हम करेंगे, so that हमारी कंपनी जो है लॉसेस से बाहर आ जाए. So in return, the management has promised to increase their wages when the mission is completed. So this is the agreement between the management and the labor union कि हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे, we'll do overtime or whatever it is which help the company, the organization to come out from the losses. And in return they said, the management is saying कि ठीक है, जब भी ये चीज होगी we will also increase your wages, right? तो जब ये चीज हो जाए, so then they should actually fulfill their commitments. It should not be कि हाँ अगर suppose labor union they have worked so hard and they really help the company to come out from the losses and later management is not keeping their words. It should not be like that. So that is discipline here. Okay, I hope you understood the first three principles of Henry Fayol. In the next video, I am going to cover the other 3 principles of Henry Fayol. I hope you understood these 3 principles. Thank you.